check in with eNCA's Silindelo Masikane, who is in Braamfontein with students marching there, many of them from Wits University. What is the latest that you have for us at the moment, Slee? The march happening in Braamfontein and not inside campus. My understanding is that that's because, at this point, the university taking a decision that not really to allow such activities to be taking place inside campus.
Yes, Silas, we're now on the streets of Braamfontein, making our way up Jorrison Street, and students just came out moments ago, and as you've stated before, is that today is supposed to be a national shutdown, and what we are seeing is that they are making sure that they are walking around the streets of Braam, shutting down businesses. They have stated before that they want the cities where all the universities are based to be ungovernable. As you can see right now, shops are closing and students are ensuring that these businesses close. The protest literally just started moments ago. We've got trash on the streets. We can see some of the students entering the shops, insisting that customers come out and that the shops close. I will be looking for one of the student representatives. I've just lost him briefly. That is the Wits SRC president. But we do know that the plan is for all universities and university students to take to the streets this week and call for free education, call for financial inclusion, as well as the call for all students to be able to register without having to pay off their historical debt, or at least a portion of it either. They want free education now, and we know that various meetings are underway with university management, vice chancellors, as well as student bodies. I do see the SRC president. I'm just going to try and make my way to him. I'm talking to the SRC president. Benduno, if we could just tell our viewers exactly what is...
Not an interview at this point.
All right, so you're just demonstrating at this point. All right. So the Wits SRC president has told me that they're not having interviews at this point, but are just insisting on protesting.
Yeah, Silindelo, let me try and get you on your side and our colleagues to try and sort out issues of audio there, because we are hearing more of the students than we are hearing you. And as you do that, just to recap, you were trying to speak to Mpendulo Mfeka, who is the SRC president at Wits University. Him indicating that they are not taking interviews at this point. But of course, I did hear Mpendulo Mfeka a bit earlier on, Silindelo, talking about how he, the students are taking this to the streets and sort of wanting to see a broader shutdown beyond campuses, simply because this is a societal matter, not just a Wits University matter, and therefore the disturbance and the shock to the system needs to happen to broader South Africa for things to start changing in this situation around student funding.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what we're seeing right now, is that we saw them gathering inside campus earlier on, where we were not privy to some of the discussions that were had. But I imagine, of course, they were mapping a way forward and mapping exactly what kind of protest action they were going to take from today as well as the rest of the week. And as you can see from the scenes that Ditiro is showing you, is that they are marching through the Braamfontein district and insisting that shops close and shut down. So I think that is one of the actions that students are taking in order to get the attention of government and ensure that their demands are met, is that they want business districts to be ungovernable for the most part. And so at this point, what we are seeing is some of those protest actions. And we know that there's been a call for civil society, businesses, as well as other organizations to take part and support the students in their fight.
Indeed, that's one of the calls being made, that society, broader society, should join in this particular struggle by the students around issues to do with funding of students. In particular, Silindelo, being the big crisis of student debt, outstanding debt, which the student organizations estimate at about 13 billion rand. 13 billion rand, they say, is owed in historical debt. 1 billion rand of debt is accounted for by students owing Wits University, the university told us last week. So is there a clear destination, Silindelo, of where they are headed right now, these students?
Not at this point, Tulas. I definitely can't tell you that for a fact. We don't know where we're going. Especially towards the end of the week last week, what we saw was that the students were just being a little bit more mum in terms of their plan of action. You're literally just following them to see where they end up. Many of the protest actions that took place last week took them to the Johannesburg Central Police Station, to Lutuli House, as well as the Constitutional Court, where memorandums were delivered at these various institutions. And we know that we still don't know what is happening in terms of investigations around the fatality that took place during protest actions last week, where unfortunately a man lost his life who was merely just going to the doctor's offices and not even being part of the protest, was shot by police officers. So we know investigations are still underway into that, and we're still waiting for an update from the investigative police directive, IPID, to tell us exactly how far they are with those investigations and whether any arrests are going to be made. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what the police action will be today. I don't see police officers right now, but we do see JMPD officials diverting traffic as these students make their way around the Braamfontein district. We are now on the Korte Street, making our way back down south, and as you can see, the insistence is that the area be rendered ungovernable and that students will be protesting for what we understand to be most of the day.
All right, Silindelo, we'll keep tracking developments with you throughout the day as we show you a bit more of those visuals. Those are students from Wits University protesting in and around Braamfontein at the moment in support for their demands that have to do largely with student debt and the ability to register, which they are calling for, a situation where universities don't stop students from registering simply because they owe those institutions outstanding fees from previous years, etc., etc.